Oh, very cool. And then so now we did the actor. We've been on stuff. We've been a stunt person. We've been an actor. And then all of a sudden you wake up one day and go, I think I should have a clothing line and start a water company.
Well, the clothing was already going on when I was like, when I started as a trainer. So I just kept it going. Like I was upset. I was giving away my clothes, like, because you want to give, it's more of a promotion advertising type thing. Like when you're in a game like I am, you gotta advertise it so much. You gotta market yourself so much that like people know who you are. So that was my other way of trying to be different than at the time when I was a background actor. I had to like separate myself from, other people. Like, okay, I got a brand. I do this. Like, so I already had the brand going this whole time. It was just like, but now I'm.
So would that be then if you were training me, then that I'd have all your clothing line to go with that as well?
You had it. Oh yeah, everyone had it. I gave it away. I never made money from it, man. I'm just.
Well, I mean, it's a marketing tool, is it not? So the people were wearing this stuff, and they were saying, I like that. Who made that? And of course, then your name drops.
Oh yeah, they were buying it too. Some people bought it. Like I made some money. I'm not saying, but at the time though, I was just thinking like I have 3 principles I live on: marketing, networking, collaboration. That's my 3 pillars in my business model. That's my whole MO is those 3 different things. So when you're a marketer like me, you got to find ways to network. When you network, you got to find a way to collaboration. Now, my second pillars are awareness, partnership, and I forget the other word I came up with in my notes, but it's levels that I'm building in pillars now that you can form to do your business model. And I am writing a couple books on that right now where I'm going to explain how to do all this stuff. So, but those 3 principles you got to have, because if you don't market, network, collab, you're not going to get no exposure. None. You got to do at least one of the 3.
Right.
At least
that's
one
very true.
Yeah.
And partnerships are huge because my background is all like finance and such. So that's all we do are strategic and global partnerships on a daily basis, because that's how you make money. And that's how you find things or transactions or money or people or deal. So yeah, it's all we're old school guys. So ours is different. Ours is you kick in the door and you press the flesh. And it's the same thing, marketing to us that's like you got to press the flesh, got to say hello to people, got to meet people. But in today's society, because look, we're having a dialogue where we all get to see each other. Back in the day, this was an event. Like we had to either be in the same room, have a film crew, or whatever. Right now we get on Zoom, push a button, we're all talking. So it makes it a little easier, but you're right. You have to be out there. That's what we were talking in the beginning. Like our marketing department's like, we'll do interviews. 6 months later, who do we have? The 2 old white guys are doing the interviews with all these young hip kids, if you will, that are under 30. And they're all like, dude, I'm like, we're doing it. And we're doing well, So, but my point is you got to kick in the door. You always have to go forward. So I agree with your principles and your ethos right off the bat. That's excellent.
And it's funny. I learned a lot from, I'm going to let you go in a second.
You're good.
I'm going to let him go in a second. I'm just going to make sure I say this for you. I learned a lot from people like you though. Like I study like Google Scholar all the time. Right. And once I started studying for my PhD, now I'm really, or my doctorate, now I'm really like on Google Scholar every day, looking at old scholar articles about marketing. And I'm like, wow, I'm just taking the principles that the old school people are using. Now I'm just like, twist a little bit, and now like you said, NFTs, now you brought that to me. Now that's a big collaboration because no one in my world is doing that.
Right.
Yeah. No one in my world is doing that.
I was once, a dear old lady said to me once, it's the same dinner, but different gravy.
Yep.
Right. So all this marketing stuff that you've been doing before, there's all these books, it's just as valid for the marketplace that we're trying to move in now. It's just everybody makes it into abracadabra. They give it all different words or whatever. But like I say, same dinner, different gravy. Yeah. And that kind of stuck with me all through my business life, because people say, yeah, we're doing this and we're doing that. I think, well, yeah, but isn't that what we did 5-10 years ago? Right. But it was just called something different.
Yes.
But no, it's very true.
It sounds like wisdom, but I always say to people, it's not wisdom. It's just the fact that when you're an old white guy
Or
there's
an old
a lot
guy
of
in general.
Yeah, an old guy in general. As I said, the nurse will be here soon. She always comes when I'm doing this show. It's not so much wisdom, it's just the fact that there's a lot of water that's gone under that proverbial bridge. And so it gives you an opportunity to literally to reflect upon this continuous flow of information that you've had. And the older you get, the easier it is to look at it and to evaluate it. And just stay open. I wholeheartedly agree. It's people make the world come around, not technology.
And the other thing, which I read in your bio, you talked about your mentor, which was the pastor. And that's the other thing, is always have good mentors, whether it's whether it's business, whether it's personal, but always have good. It's one of the things that when I started 100 years ago, we had a guy that says, we're going to mentor you. You have to pay it forward. So like you just mentor people throughout your life, and that gets them to go from A to Z. That's the most important thing, because it's paying it forward. And that's a big thing too, as you get more successful, because people are going to be like, how did you do it? How did you do this? And how did you do that? So it's, like the old, like, get away from me, little kid. To me, like W.C. Fields, right? To me, it's more of like, all right, this is what you do. Like, I'll tell you what to go do, how to kick in a door. You have to do it. I can't kick in the door for you. And it's kind of like what you did. You kind of said, I need to go do this, and you did it. So a lot of people just don't know what to do, but you were like, you did like the whole A through Z, which is very cool. So and now you're growing your business.
I think the exciting thing about that, Steve, is that what Diesel said, something quite fundamental. I went and knocked on that door.
Yep.
And that's just what people just don't think about that. Well, how do I get somebody? You literally go and knock on that door. Yeah. And then you said about the stunt guy. Yeah. He probably thought, oh my God, I'll give him something that he's not going to be like a monkey on my back for the next 5 or 10 years. Come on, give him something.
I had to.
Yeah.
But that's cool, because most people don't. And that's like in my world, that's what you're constantly, and being from New York, especially, I'm not going to go on a tangent, David, relax. But being, it's constantly like knocking on, I get a kick in the door. You got to go forward. I always tell people, listen, you go forward. You don't go under, you don't go underneath, you don't go left, you don't go right. You just go forward. You kick in that door. And if you make a mistake, we can fix it. We can correct it. We can mentor you. But if you just sit there, you can't do anything, right? You can't move forward. So you got to always do that. So you're like, that's very inspirational. I like that, because you don't hear that from a lot of people. Like the guys at Noisy Panda hear this crap from me all the time. Like, this is like my Bible. I preach it. But, and then everyone's a 14-year-old, right? Whether you're 14 or 114. So you have the 14-year-olds. You're like, well, it's too hard. No, it's not. Go do it. What do you think? Someone's just going to come in and go, you're wonderful. And that's the other problem, right? Everybody's mother told them that when they came in 300th, they were special. When we played Little League when I was a kid in the 60s, yes, the 1760s, we had baseball. But when we played Little League baseball, if we didn't come in first place, we didn't get pizza. We didn't get, we didn't get a trophy. Your parents were like, well, you didn't win. You'll try harder for next year. Okay. That was done. Like, there was no, it's first or nothing. And today's society is, we don't want to hurt anybody's feeling. I hurt everybody's feelings. I could care less. You have to move forward. And I think that's a big thing. So you're probably more diplomatic at it, but I think your philosophy seems to be the same thing, is you got to go forward. You can't rest on your laurels, or you'll have absolutely nothing if you rest on your laurels.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, this the same for me. I come from a culture where we're always told it's the participation which is important, and not the winning. Yeah, that's just fundamentally wrong, because you don't win. If I'm not the guy out there with the spear, the first one getting to that piece of meat that I've hunted, I go hungry.
Yep.
And and that's the same in life as well. You've sometimes you have to sharpen your elbows and get out there. I'm not saying you have to be rude or destroy people on the way through, because I'm a bit too much of an old hippie to think that that's a good way forward. But yeah, I think, you just be respectful, but be forceful and contemplate on what you're good at, and think, okay, this is what I'm good at doing, and I'm going to do that. And other people will help me fill in the holes in my skill set. But, I mean, we're an actor, we're a sportsman. You got your clothing line. You
so what's next for you?
Yeah, you talked a little bit about the water. I know that in Europe, we turn the tap on and we can drink it, and that's not.
Yeah, we can't. Not in America. In America,
yeah, I was going to say, but that's not the case, is it? In a lot of cases, a lot of places in the US, the water is just fouled. So, can you tell us a little bit about why you seem to be quite passionate about that as well? Rightly, how did that all come about?
So that came about around 2018. One of my buddies asked me, like, what do you want to do next, or something like that. Should try something else. So all right, and then why don't you try water? Okay, let me think about it. Okay, so I looked up, how to do this stuff. Once again, Google's my friend.
This is a good ad for Google.
So went on Google, and I was a local company around here, and it was too old school. The philosophy wasn't going to match where I am. But in terms